Welcome to Trading an Edge, where we break down the psychology, mindset, on system of elite trading. In this deep dive, we explore how mindful awareness transforms chaos into clarity, revealing that peace, not prediction, is the trader's greatest edge.
And that really hits the nail on the head. That's the disruptive truth we have to internalize right from the start. Most traders pour all their energy, all their focus into trying to predict or somehow control the market, which is it's a futile, draining game.
And completely exhausting.
Yeah. But the core realization, the thing elite traders get, is that the real mastery, it lies entirely in controlling yourself. Look, the market will always be unpredictable, always complex, always adaptive. That's its nature. You can't change it.
Right. It just is.
But your mind doesn't have to follow it into chaos. True power, the actual edge, comes from mastering your own responses, those sort of automatic reactions to the market's inevitable mayhem.
Okay, let's unpack that right away, because mindfulness, that word can feel a bit, vague, maybe even soft for traders used to hard data, spreadsheets, technicals. What exactly is this concept when we're talking high-stakes trading? How does it give a real, clinical advantage when your capital is actually on the line?
That's a great question, because the clinical definition, it flips that common kind of fluffy idea on its head. Mindfulness isn't about trying to create a vacuum in your head. It's not about suppressing thoughts or getting rid of emotions, especially not when the screens are flashing red.
Yeah, impossible that.
Exactly. It's about developing what we call a witnessing awareness. It's the capacity to observe those intense internal states, the fear, the greed, the frustration, without immediately reacting to them, without getting totally fused with them.
So the thought oh God, I need to panic sell, it still pops up.
Oh, absolutely.
But instead of that thought being an order, it's just information passing through, data.
Precisely. You've got it. We're talking about creating critical space, cognitive space. The goal is crystal clear decision-making, regardless of market conditions, whether it's ripping higher on FOMO or collapsing in sheer panic. When you stop fighting that inner noise, the desperate hope for a reversal, the anger at a sudden spike against you, you actually create room.
Room for what?
For clarity, for precision, for genuine control over your actions. The mindful trader understands deep down, they don't chase outcomes. They align their actions with their predefined rules and what's happening right now. Present awareness. And that is what shifts trading from this reactive, stress-fueled anxiety spiral into a disciplined practice, a practice of presence.
I think a visual might help here, make it really concrete for everyone listening. Trading without this awareness, let's say before you develop it, it's kind of like trying to surf in a hurricane without a surfboard.
Right, that's good.
You're just completely thrashed around by every single wave, every flicker of fear, greed, frustration. You react instantly, instinctively. Mindfulness, then, it provides the stability. It's the surfboard under your feet. It lets you ride that massive volatility with some balance, with intentional moves.
That analogy, it perfectly captures the stability we're aiming for. It's not about calm seas. It's about a steady board on rough seas. And that stability, that brings us right into the deep psychology of why trading is so stressful in the first place. Look, every tick on the chart, every bar reflects uncertainty. Of course it does. But the stress you feel, that knot in your stomach, it isn't actually caused by the market itself.
Say more about that.
The market is just price action, numbers moving. The stress comes entirely from the trader's attachment to the result, to the outcome.
But wait a second, isn't that just semantics? If I lose 5 figures on a trade that goes south, that feels like real physical pain. It hurts. How do I, as a human being, actually internalize that difference? The difference between the market moving and my P&L hitting my sense of self-worth, or just pain.
That is the crux of it, isn't it? The essential psychological hurdle. The pain comes from the meaning you assign to that price movement, that loss. We have to really internalize this. The market has zero intention. It's an amoral machine. It's completely indifferent to whether you win or lose today.
It doesn't care about me.
Not one bit. Only the trader assigns meaning. We link wins and losses, often subconsciously, directly to our self-worth, our intelligence, our competence as a provider even. We're conditioned biologically and socially to seek pleasure, avoid pain, seek instant gratification, fear loss. Trading puts all those deep instincts under immense pressure. Real calm, genuine calm only emerges when you can accept what is, fully, without resistance, without arguing with reality. We sometimes call it practicing welcoming the unwelcome.
Okay, acceptance is the foundation. But practically, operationally, how do we actually decouple our self-worth from the daily P&L swings?
It comes down to two core principles. They're interlocked. First, Non-attachment. This is the conscious, deliberate recognition that your inherent value as a person is absolutely 100% not tied to your profit and loss statement.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, definitely. It's a practice. But a loss isn't a moral failing. It's not proof you're stupid. It is simply a data point. Feedback. When you start treating losses purely as tuition, as information about your system's edge or your execution, not as personal failures, the emotional charge just starts to diminish significantly.
Okay, non-attachment. What's the second principle?
The second is emotional equanimity. And this might be the toughest mountain to climb for many traders. It's about developing the capacity to actually experience those intense market-driven emotions. You know, that surge of FOMO when something's running without you, or that heavy dread when a position draws down hard. Experience them as temporary energy, just sensations in the body.
Not as commands to act.
Exactly, not as instructions demanding immediate action. So, for example, when you feel that wave of fear wash over you, you observe it. You notice the tightness in your chest, maybe, or the shallow breathing, the racing thoughts. You label it internally. Ah, this is fear. It's a sensation passing through. You don't label it. This means I must dump everything right now. That observation, that labeling, it creates that crucial space, that pause between the emotional trigger and the potentially disastrous automatic response.
That space.
Yeah.
That's the buffer zone. That's the difference between maybe a disciplined stop out according to your plan and a complete panic liquidation.
Precisely. Which leads us nicely into a really practical point, something that feels technical but is almost entirely psychological.
Yeah.
Position sizing.
Right. How does sizing fit into mindfulness?
Well, if the goal is to remain present, to stay unemotional, to maintain that equanimity we just talked about, then choosing the right position size, it's actually a form of self-compassion. It's wisdom in action.
Self-compassion. I like that framing.
Think about it. Trading isn't just a math and probability game. It's a nervous system management game. Deep down, mindful position sizing means choosing trade sizes that allow you to maintain awareness and presence even if the trade goes against you temporarily. If a normal, expected market fluctuation triggers a full-blown, hijack your brain, fight or flight response, your size is simply too big.
For your current psychological capacity.
Exactly. You're operating outside your window of tolerance. Trading at a level where market moves don't completely hijack your nervous system ensures you can actually stick to your plan, execute calmly. And that's the definition of wisdom in this context.
Okay, this is powerful stuff. Let's pivot now and make it super actionable. For the person listening right now thinking, okay, I buy this, I need this, what's the step-by-step framework? How do we integrate this mindfulness into the actual trading day?
Right, let's get practical. We start before you even glance at a price chart. Step 1, practice presence. Before you analyze the market, you need to rigorously, honestly analyze your mind.
So check your internal state before you check the overnight futures or the news headlines.
Precisely. You have to notice, am I coming to the screen seeing what is? The objective reality on the charts? Or am I seeing what I want to see? You know, projecting hope onto a setup or maybe denial about a losing position. The actionable practice here is what we call a pre-market centering ritual. Simple but profound. Just 10, maybe 15 minutes of silent sitting or just focused breathing before the opening bell.
Set the intention.
Yes. Set a clear intention for the day. Clarity, discipline, following my rules. And this is crucial. Consciously release expectations about making specific profits or avoiding losses today. You're preparing your internal instrument, tuning it before you play.
Okay, foundation set, pre-market ritual, done. Now the market's open, trades are happening. How do we handle the outcomes? That must be step 2. Detach from outcomes. Trading the process, not the P&L.
Exactly. The absolute critical focus here is responding effectively, skillfully to what is actually happening right now, in this present moment, not getting lost chasing future hypotheticals, not trying to mentally claw back yesterday's loss on this trade. You maintain full 100% engagement and discipline in executing your tested system, your entry signals, your stop-loss rules, your profit targets, but you mentally, emotionally detach from the result of this one single trade.
So if you're a scalper taking dozens of trades,
you treat each one like an independent coin flip almost, free from the emotional baggage of the last 10 wins or losses. If you're a longer-term swing trader, maybe you stop checking your P&L 5 times an hour. You let your well-researched process unfold without constant emotional meddling.
Okay, but then, inevitably, that moment arrives. The market does something wild, and that fear or greed just flares up. We need a tactic, right? Like an emergency brake. Step 3, regulate emotion.
Yes, this is the tactical intervention. This is where we deploy the Tatapi protocol. It's rapid, simple, 4 steps designed to interrupt that emotional hijack feedback loop. First, S, Stop. Whatever you're doing, mouse hovering over the button, just stop. Mentally, physically pull back for a second.
Pause.
Then T, take a breath. Not just any breath, a conscious, deliberate breath. Feel the air. This physically helps regulate your nervous system, pulls you out of that reactive lizard brain. O, observe. Notice the specific feeling. Where is it in your body? What are the thoughts attached? Just observe it without judging it as good or bad. Is it tightness, heat, racing thoughts? Label it. Finally, P, proceed. Now, from that slightly calmer, more observed state, you make a conscious, intentional choice. Does your trading plan dictate an action here, or is the impulse purely emotional? You proceed based on rules, not reaction.
That STP protocol turns that raw reactivity into usable insight eventually.
That's the goal. And that pause, that T for take a breath, it highlights the power of our most accessible tool. Which leads to step 4. Use breath as anchor. Sounds simple, maybe cliche, but tactically,
How do we apply it right at the point of execution?
it is the most powerful tool precisely because it's always right here, always available. The practice is incredibly simple. Take 3 conscious, deep breaths before you commit capital to any trade. Click the button. For active traders especially, this grounds you instantly, pulls you back to the present moment, helps verify, is this entry truly planned, rational, aligned with my rules, or is it impulsive, driven by FOMO or boredom?
Okay, 3 breaths. Is there a specific focus within the breath?
Yes, there is. Pay attention to the natural pause, that brief moment of stillness right at the bottom of the exhale, just before the next inhale begins, that tiny gap, that fraction of a second of quiet.
Yeah.
That's where decision clarity often resides. It's like hitting an instant reset button for the mind. It clears the momentary mental static right before you place the order.
I can see that. A moment of stillness. Okay, finally, we need to loop this all back into learning and improvement. Step 5. Reflect mindfully. This feels like where the real long-term patterns get uncovered.
Absolutely. This is arguably the most powerful long-term growth engine in this whole process. It involves what we call mindful journaling. You're recording not just your trades, your setups, your P&L, the system's performance metrics, but crucially, your emotional states alongside those decision points.
Like, what was I actually feeling when I took that entry?
Exactly. Note the specific physical sensations, the mental chatter, what stories were running through your head during that winning streak or during that drawdown. For instance, after a really nice winning trade, did you feel that rush of euphoria, that urge to immediately double your size on the next trade? Write it down. After a loss, did you feel that jaw clenching, that almost compulsive urge to just click buttons, do something, anything to make it back fast? Document it.
So you start seeing your own personal emotional triggers and patterns tied to market action.
Precisely. And the advanced application here, the really deep work, is working with losses consciously. When a significant loss happens, and it will, the typical reaction is either beating yourself up or blaming the market, right? Finding external reasons.
Yeah, the blame game.
Instead, you practice self-inquiry. Ask, okay, what can this loss genuinely teach me? About my rules, about my emotional tolerance, about my execution. And you specifically notice that powerful, urgent pull towards revenge trading, that desperate need to immediately win the money back. You meet that urge not by fighting it, not by suppressing it, but with compassionate awareness.
Compassionate awareness of the urge to gamble, essentially.
You recognize the compulsion for what it is, just energy, a thought pattern, not an instruction manual. You allow that energy to be there, observe it, and let it dissipate without dictating your next mouse click.
That revenge trading. It's the classic account killer, isn't it? Seeing that urge clearly and not acting on it, that sounds like true equanimity in practice.
It really is. And you know, as you get better at this, even the boring parts of trading become useful. Those slow, quiet periods in the market boredom.
Yeah, when nothing's happening and you feel you should be doing something.
That becomes an opportunity, too. Cultivating patience during market boredom means transforming that waiting time into active presence training. You practice just sitting with the charts, observing, without forcing a trade that clearly isn't there according to your plan. Recognize boredom not as a signal to go find risky stimulation or take a low probability shot,
But as a signal, too.
as a signal to return to your breath, to deepen your practice of stillness, to just be present with what is, which right now is quiet.
That's a fantastic reframing of downtime. It's not wasted time. It's active presence training.
Which brings us right back, full circle, to where we started, that fundamental truth. You simply can't find consistent stability or peace in the market until you really commit to finding stability and peace in yourself. Because in the high-stakes game of trading, mindful awareness, it isn't some optional add-on. It's not a luxury. It's absolutely necessary for survival and for any hope of sustained profitability.
You can't find peace in the market until you find peace in yourself. A powerful closing thought. Trading an edge where psychology meets profitability.